Welcome to Gas Station Cappuccino, your favorite podcast by Caffeine and Kilos.
Our only one.
Well, yeah, it's also their favorite. So, Dino, what do we got going on this weekend? This podcast will come out on Monday, so it'll have already happened, but that's all right. It's still good to talk about it.
Yeah.
We have the Sacramento
Scavenger hunt workout. Sacramento scavenger hunt workout.
So I know it may not be totally thrilling if you're listening to this and we're talking about something.
It was great. It was so much fun.
Already happened. Great turnout. I love the attitude of everyone there.
Positive. Everybody had a good time.
Everyone's gonna meet up at CrossFit Anywhere in downtown Sacramento, get some teams, and then kind of do a little run around town, around different parts of downtown.
Winners get some swag, CK swag.
Do a little workout, different parts. Maybe they go to a popular skate spot and do some, box jumps or some shit.
Yeah, it's like a mixture of like, kind of like talks about a little bit of the culture of the fitness / skate scene in Sacramento.
Yeah.
And, so it should be fun.
Sacramento was just voted, I forget what website it was, but anyway, it's in like top 5 up-and-coming U.S. cities.
Yeah, I believe it. There's a lot going on down there. It's kind of crazy. Like, I've only lived there for going on 10 years. Like in the city, and even since I've been there, it's like a totally different place.
Yeah.
In the last 10 years.
It was hipsterville.
It always was.
It's really
but now it's like high-end hipsterville. Like poser hipster.
Oh, yeah.
So it's, I don't even know what you call that.
Hipster.
Yeah. Because it was always, downtown was always, any inner city where there's art and stuff, there's always going to be like that hipper crowd.
Well,
it was more of like a grungy, like hip, like a more of like a show crowd, right? Where people go to like underground shows there. It was always that like real like subculture vibes. But now everything's just like
it's more like a city,
more pretty and more like loud, and not as much of like core anymore. It's more like just mainstream.
So that's what one thing
commercialization.
The art scene's coming up.
The art scene,
like more the murals all over town. Got a couple new, like a bunch of murals, but a couple new big ones. Just that type of thing. Yeah,
for sure. That stuff's definitely, instead of just like there was always good art down there, but it would get, covered up and removed. Now they do what's that called, Dante? Again?
Wide open walls?
Yeah. Now it's like, that's going on for like 4 or 5 years now?
At least.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But it's like...
that big ass Johnny Cash, huh?
Yeah, now they're leaving him up.
Yeah. Well, now they're actually paying him to do it.
Yeah, no, exactly. No, which is great. It looks cool. It's it's awesome. Street art's super cool.
There's this guy I follow. Actually, that artist Finch out of San Francisco. He did. He's all about public art and doing it and doing it the right way too, so it will stay up and that type of thing. Mm-hmm. So he made a deal with the guy who has an empty lot that's going to be a construction site. So in the meantime, though, it's just this chain link fence in the middle of this pretty nice neighborhood. So he put up I think 5 panels of just side-by-side 4x8 plywood, so 8x8 squares, 5 of them across this chain link fence, and then brought in 4 of his friends that are artists, and they all took one over. And so now there's these 5 8x8 murals that are on this, instead of just being a chain link fence looking at the weeds on this growing on this empty lot, you have these 5 murals there right in town.
Little pop-up art display.
And so the plan is they're going to be there for like 4 months, and then he's going to take them down and move them to another construction zone or whatever, like something else in town that's just kind of there,
hide the construction.
Yeah, just kind of move them around.
Interesting.
Anyway, interesting
idea.
That is
cool. No, I like
kind
that
of outside the box a little bit,
I love that kind of stuff because you already have companies selling like shitty
advertising,
or just like shitty like tropical scenes on that on like a piece of something that goes behind the chain link, and it's like, oh, this looks like shit. Looks like a shower curtain.
Exactly.
But now they have like people doing that. That's way cooler.
Or like in big cities too, especially on like skyscrapers, whatever. When they're doing construction, it's just a plywood wall, right? And so he's like, oh, what if we take those plywood walls and we put art up on them? So kind of cool.
Yeah, for sure, no doubt.
Hey, I've got some advice, some tips for people.
Wow.
I sent out an email actually to the gym this morning about this, and I think it's great advice for everybody. I thought, man, might as well just talk about it on the podcast too. And the goal is, all right, so we all know that people are creatures of habits, and streaks. People say, oh, that guy's really streaky. Well, here's the catch. It's actually everybody's streaky. Like, if you're really consistent, you're just consistent. You're just on a streak a lot, So I think the goal is a good goal if you're trying to accomplish anything is the rule of just never miss twice. Right? So say you have a goal and you want to go to the gym 4 days a week. Mm-hmm. And you go 4 days, The 1 week you only go 3 days. Mm-hmm. Well, you don't beat yourself up about it. Mm-hmm. You just don't make sure that doesn't happen 2 times in a row.
Yep.
And I think that's the whole key is if you have that mindset of like just never miss twice, then it allows you to be more forgiving with yourself when you do mess up. Because otherwise it would be easy to miss, that other day, whatever, you only go 3 days or 2 days. You're like, oh, fuck, Then the next week it's like, you kind of feel like you already fucked it up and something else going on. It's easy to just kind of that week you only go 3 days also because, last week I went 3 and that's pretty good. It's better than nothing, type deal. Compare that to the idea of like, don't miss twice. So I got 3, that's all right, no problem. I'm just going to make damn sure that doesn't happen 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah, it's a good way to go about it. It just kind of holds you more accountable to being consistent, which is at the end of the day is where the results come from.
So it's a way to hold yourself accountable to being consistent, but not beat yourself up over little mistakes.
Yeah.
Same thing with diet. If you're like, oh, I'm not going to eat any refined sugars, whatever, right? Like, I'm just not doing it. And then, whatever, you show up to work, you've been good for, 7 days in a row, 8 days in a row. Show up to work with these fucking donuts out, and you're like, fuck it. And you have a donut. Well, that's all right, because then you can be like, hey, never miss twice. That means, like, just next time you just hop back on. Just get back on. Make sure you don't do it the rest of the day. Make sure tomorrow you don't have it, and you're fine.
Yeah,
Instead of doing the mindset that I've done before, which you go, all right, I had a donut. Well, fuck it. All right, here we go.
Yeah, time
What's
to
up next?
Strap into the next fucking junk food.
Saddle up. Stop. I'm going to drive through, get a McFlurry on the way home.
Yeah, which are delicious. I heard somebody on another podcast talking about how they chipped their tooth on a McFlurry. I guess it was like a frozen piece of like the Butterfinger.
I thought maybe it was that giant ass spoon straw.
I guess it was,
the mixing spoon,
which is a weird fucking straw. Like I don't understand the point of that.
It hooks onto the machine that mixes it, so they don't have to wash them all the time. Or between McFlurries. So think if you use a regular blender or like an immersion blender. Mm-hmm. Well, between every milkshake, you'd have to like wash off that attachment that actually goes into the milkshake for different flavors.
The spoon is what spins the milkshake.
The spoon is the stirrer. So that spoon pops on the thing, and then click it off.
I've never known that.
That way you don't have to rinse off the immersion
But
part.
It makes total sense.
Yeah.
It makes perfect sense. Whoever thought of that should be making a lot of money.
I wonder why no one else uses it. I don't know, do they have like a patent on it? I don't know. It seems like if it is such a good idea, why don't other people use it? I don't know.
Yeah, maybe they're just like, I guess taking a rag going like this. I don't know. Well, also a lot of people with their milkshakes don't have a lot of toppings. Like I don't know, like what's they're called? They don't do it. The blur.
Well, still, like say you make
Queen.
You do a vanilla one, and the next one is chocolate or whatever. Like you don't,
Well, like In-N-Out, they just got different spouts.
Oh yeah.
But they're not mixing shit in it. That's why I'm thinking like maybe Dairy Queen obviously doesn't do that though either because they have regular spoons, so they're cleaning them.
Yeah,
but I don't know. I wonder why they're not.
Yeah, I have no idea.
I was having a conversation with someone today, and they were talking about how what's it called has meatless burgers now. Carl's Jr.
Oh.
So now Carl's Jr. You can get like an Impossible Burger if you're a vegan, or a one of those whatever else they're called.
Like the black bean patties.
Yeah. So I guess that's creeping its way into the fast food industry. And they were even mentioning how they eat them, but then they just realize now they haven't eaten fast food in years. Now they're eating fast food again.
It's it's so funny. You're right. It's the same thing with like bunless burgers and shit like that. Like it's so it's okay. I'm on a whatever. You're on keto or just low carb. Like trying to stay away from refined, whatever processed food. So you don't try to stay away from like hamburger buns and just stuff like that. Like, oh, I just want to eat meat and vegetables and shit. Well, it's like, oh, I'll just go and get this bunless burger or whatever, And then it's like, well, now you're going back to fast food, getting these bunless burgers, and then, anyway, it's just this whole, like,
then the next day you're getting the fried chicken nuggets also.
Well, like, what exactly, because you don't know, like, what exactly is the quality of meat there? Like, are there fillers in that? Are there not? Like, I don't know, but I know when I buy ground beef at the store and I just cook it at home, there's probably not. Really low likelihood of there being like fillers and fake meat in there. Whereas like you go to, for example, Taco Bell and there's that big thing of their ground beef only being like fucking 40% beef or whatever, right?
Yeah.
So it's like you do that, you're like, oh, well, let's get these lettuce wrap tacos. And then, okay, but that's not the whole issue.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting. It's a weird thing. It's like, but then again, though, like, just because it's vegan doesn't mean it's healthy.
That's a major issue, and that's with everything. It's the same shit with low fat, right? Like, all of a sudden, everyone wants to eat low fat. You know, not all of a sudden. Like 20 years ago, it was like, oh, you got to eat lower fat, lower your fat intake to lower your calories. Really, you just need to lower your calories, but whatever. If you want to make fat the bad guy, fine. Because it's easy to connect the dots. Like, oh, well, I don't want to get fat, so I shouldn't eat this fat, right? So that's where people kind of connect those dots, even though it's not exactly how the body works. Like, you don't eat something that it immediately like stores as fat. Like, it gets processed, you know. But anyway, so the point is that then low fat is considered a healthy choice. So what do you do if you make Skittles? You put low fat on the Skittles wrapper because, in fact, there's zero fat. It's all fucking sugar. Mm-hmm. But then someone who's on a diet and is eating a low-fat diet, sees low fat on the Skittles, like, well, fuck, low fat, sweet. I could actually fit these into my diet.
Oh, you mean these Snickers are gluten-free?
Right, exactly.
Yeah, they are, but you're still eating fucking Snickers.
You're still eating Snickers, exactly. And so, the Skittles are fine.
But if you have celiac or something, that's different. Sorry.
Yeah. Well, it's like, and then the same thing, like low carb or whatever, right? And it's like you know, whatever, like put like, on like a package of eggs and like low carb. It's like, yeah, no shit. Right? But that's not the point is, and not the eggs are bad necessarily, it's just the point of like you start labeling stuff non-fat that has never had fat in it. You just put that on a label now. Or you start labeling stuff, you know, oh, here's an example actually, these are really good, you should get them at Costco. They're egg thins. Mm-hmm. So they're called egg thins, and it is, they're like crepes, but it's just egg.
Okay.
But so they're super thin. Like there's 12 in a packet that's like...
You like wrap it with like a sandwich? Deli meat?
You can do anything you want. So here's, all kinds of stuff. So they are, like each one is like fucking 15 calories. Because these things are like paper thin. Mm-hmm. But it has like 1 gram of protein and like maybe half a gram of fat.
Do they rip easy?
And no. So you would think they'd rip easy. That was my big concern. I've only had like 2 or 3 of them now.
Tacos with them.
They have never once... You could... What I did the first time, because I thought they were going to rip easy because they're so fucking thin, is I actually took some ham and I did like a breakfast taco kind of. So I heat up the ham in the pan to get a little brown on it. Laid that on top of it, and then a little scrambled egg and cheese. Popped that in there and wrapped it up so you can hold the egg thing so it's not greasy at all, whatever. And I thought the ham would give it some support. But there was like no sign of this thing ripping, like no worries.
And there's no fillers holding it all together.
Nothing at all, it's just an egg. And so Jess did, I'm pretty sure anyway. So Jess did, whatever fillers are in there, they're like nothing.
Preservatives?
Yeah, maybe. I don't think so. I think it's just eggs. So Jess actually did it like a sandwich, like a wrap at work. And she took it, and she did this, she was worried about it ripping, so she laid down lettuce first, and then ham, cheese, whatever, some mustard, mayo, whatever. Mm-hmm. And then actually microwaved just like 10 seconds, just a little bit. And so it was fucking fantastic.
Sounds good. I have to go try those out.
So then my most recent thing with them actually, going a little chemical here, is I actually took those flexible dieting lifestyle, the cookie butter stuff.
Okay.
Making like a crepe or almost like a cannoli if you fried it.
Bananas in there and shit?
No, I just took that because of 2 tablespoons of serving that stuff, right? Mm-hmm. Anyway, so I took 2 tablespoons of that cookie butter, which by the way, if anyone's like jonesing for something that's tastes a little sweet, but is like pretty low calories. 2 tablespoons of stuff is like 45 calories, and they have an Oreo cookie flavor one and a golden cookie, which is like Nilla wafers, kind of. Anyway, they're pretty good. They taste a little bit like artificial sweeteners.
It tastes a lot like a stevia.
A little, yeah. You get that stevia taste in there because that's why they're low calories. But it's like.
If you have a sugar craving, it'll cure it because it's going to be overload.
Exactly. And I'll tell you what, it's a hell of a lot better than just going for some refined sugar thing, Yeah,
really. For sure. No, they're good. So, they're great. Yeah.
So I took some of that and wrapped one of those up in it, and it was great. But it says you can like fry them to get them crispy. I'm thinking, dude, like make like legit cannolis with them. Just like you take heavy whipping cream, like made just cocoa powder. Mm-hmm. You do total like no carbs.
Man, Obo. By my house, this place called Obo. It's a.
The point of that is, sorry, on the package it says keto friendly, low carb. Well, it's just egg. Of course there aren't any carbs in it. It's just egg.
But looking at it, though, you might not know it's just egg.
Right.
So it's probably good that it has that on there.
Yeah, it's just funny. Like, you label something.
Yeah, something obvious.
To something that would catch somebody's eye. It's like, oh, I'm following this diet. So you see that, but it's like, well, yeah, like, of course the Skittles are non-fat.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's this place, Obo, by my house that has the best chocolate-dipped cannolis. And they're just fucking off the hook. They're not healthy cannolis.
No.
But...
No.
Delicious nonetheless.
The term healthy cannoli, I think that's just a...
Yeah, well, they're just straight up regular cannolis, and then they're dipped in chocolate.
Yeah.
The shell's dipped in chocolate.
I love a good cannoli.
Oh, yeah. It's an underrated treat. But, I mean, it's like, it's not for little kids. It's an adult treat.
It's an adult treat.
That's what it is. Like, when you're a kid, you see that, and you think it's good, and then you taste it, and it's like, oh, this isn't what I thought it was going to taste like. It's not, like, super sweet.
Yeah.
It's not super rich. They're pretty mild. It's almost like a cheesecake-ish thing, right?
Yeah.
It's not like a chocolate cake or like whipped cream donut. Like it kind of looks like, you know.
You know what
like an egg roll.
Kind of reminds me of is one of my favorite cities is New Orleans because of beignets.
Yeah.
There's the Café du Monde, which is like the most popular one, but it's like all over town they got places that have beignets. There's actually one place, Café Beignet.
I don't know why someone doesn't open up one of those like in like somewhere like Sac.
I've thought of that. And then maybe I bet there is. I bet in like San Francisco, there's probably some place like a bakery or whatever that has beignets or specializes in beignets. Probably like in whatever French area or
somebody that
like
just like used to live there needs to move out here, or that's already living here just needs to open one up so it's authentic.
Yeah.
You just be like, yeah, we moved out here, and so this is where we live now. So this is what we're still doing our own thing.
Yeah.
And people would fucking go for that.
Dude, they're so good. It's funny that Café du Monde, it's wild, like line out the door all fucking day, and it's just straight. It's beignets and coffee. That's fucking it. Mm-hmm. And like
powdered sugar.
Just powdered sugar. Yeah.
Out of a stainless steel metal shaker, like is that
it? Straight up.
It's probably delicious.
They're so good.
Are they thin, or is there a lot of air, or is there a lot of material or not material? Is there like breading on the inside? Is it like hollow?
No, they're not like hollow. It's like it's basically they're donuts essentially. Like cut to the chase. Like it's basically a powdered sugar donut,
but without like frosting and shit. It's like a sugar donut. Or like if you took a donut that didn't have any frosting or any sort of toppings on it and just put powdered sugar on it. Is it like a dense donut or like an airy donut?
No, like pretty airy.
Is it crispy though?
Well, there's different people. I mean, there's different
Is it more like an old fashioned or more like a traditional donut? Like an old fashioned, they're kind of harder.
Yeah, no, not like that. They're like gooey, like not gooey, like it's
but yeah, it's airy,
melt in your mouth type thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Fantastic.
Sounds good.
They're so good. But there's different places they're a little bit different, and it's funny.
Everybody's got their own little twist.
Oh, well, the best, Café du Monde. They're so popular, they're the best ones. It's like, well, they also have a really good location. They have this like, it's like, oh no, you don't want let me tell you where they really go.
Yeah, the locals.
Everyone's gonna tell you.
Everybody tells you this.
Everyone's gonna tell you, no, you got to go to Café Beignet. That's really.
It's like the Philly cheesesteak sandwich in Philly. Like, oh, there's two that are right across the street from each other, and everybody's like, which one's the best?
Let me tell you where to get the real Chicago style pizza.
Yeah, that's
You're in Chicago. Let me tell you, this is the pizza place to go to. And I look at him, I go, no, it's not. It's Giordano's. Everybody knows Giordano's.
Yeah, I got the inside.
No, trust me.
Trust me, I've been there once.
Oh, man.
A local guy told me to go there.
The place.
It was the concierge.
This is the...
This guy we met, at the hotel. Really friendly.
Yeah. He told me two things. He said, never miss twice, and you gotta go to Giordano's for the pizza.
And then slap over on a flight to Philly and get the, I don't know which one it's called.
Yeah, I don't remember.
There's two, and they're right across the street from each other. That's all I know. They're like on corners.
Yeah, when we were in Philadelphia, we got a Philly cheesesteak. I don't remember which one we went to.
I went to one too, like I'm talking 20 years ago. But it was okay. I remember it, because it was like a big deal, and then I was like, this is like okay.
Yeah, I remember afterwards, like, yeah, that's a Philly cheesesteak.
It's just whatever the cheese is, that's what the whole thing's going to taste like.
Yeah.
Unless they do something else, like the special peppers.
I do love a Philly cheesesteak sandwich.
Oh, yeah. Like, how could you not? Meat, cheese, bread.
Yeah.
Fucking oozing out, piping hot.
Yeah, and then butter-soaked onions and peppers.
Yeah. It's the perfect cardiac arrest snack.
You know what I do sometimes? This place I go to breakfast in down where I live, is they have a Philly cheesesteak omelet.
Ooh, that sounds good.
And they use like thinly sliced tri-tip, and then it's the onions and the peppers. They cook it all together and grill, and then it's just wrapped, instead of the bread, it's wrapped in an omelet. Otherwise, exactly the same. It's thinly sliced tri-tip, cheese, all that, like fucking more cheese than you could imagine in an omelet, and then the peppers and onions.
You know, I'll bet you that
it is damn good.
I'll bet you that across the street would do that because they have roast beef. I'm not saying that it's made out of roast beef, but they have roast beef, and I bet you they'd make you an omelet with it because they have like a roast beef scramble.
Oh.
So I bet you if you asked them to make you like a roast beef, onion, pepper, cheese omelet, they would make it.
I'm sure.
They'd probably be off the hook.
Probably great. Haven't been there in a long time.
I know. I mean, right. They were closed for a bit. Now they're back open.
I had Jonesing for those hamburger patties they got.
Ooh, I might get that for lunch today.
Hamburger patty and eggs. The simplest thing, but like they have good hamburgers.
They do. They do. Because they're always like juicy. Because I think they do
Super
like
juicy.
they cover them with the pan.
They pan them. Well, they probably don't put the iron on top because the hot iron on top makes them cook faster. It also presses the
pulls
juice
all the
out.
juice out. Yeah.
That's the worst. If you go to a restaurant, steakhouse, and you see them throwing it on top of the steak, taking like that weighted iron on top, that's no good.
Yeah, man. I used to eat a lot of steak, but I've kind of strayed away from it lately. I don't know. I think I just overdid it.
Yeah. What even?
Need more chickens. More chicken. Yeah, more white meats. Yeah, good old chicken. I did those. We talked about it last time, but I've been doing a lot of those kind of air fryer chicken nuggets. Delicious.
You know, Jim Harbaugh said, "I don't eat chicken." Why not? You don't like it? That's a nervous bird. That's the justification. That's a nervous bird.
Yeah, that guy's an eccentric, man. Hilarious.
And you know what? When you hear that, you go, "Yeah, all right." Like that really doesn't make sense, but I feel like it makes sense.
He's probably one of those guys that just has such a dry sense of humor. You just like you don't know if he's kidding or not. You're like,
like, is that really his thought? Why, or is he just
fucking with people?
Fucking with me? But again, like I don't disagree with that logic. You know, it's like the thing to say of studies that people just want a reason why. It doesn't even have to make sense. So they did all these studies on asking like to cut in front of people in line, and they found that if you just give a reason why, regardless of what it is, just any reason, then like 70% they say yeah. But if you don't give a reason, it's only like 40%. And so it could even be as much like, hey, can you mind if I jump in front of you here because I need to go next? And people are like, oh yeah, no problem. Like you don't have to tell them why. Like because they check like is it a compelling reason or whatever. No, you can just be like, hey, can I just go in front of you here because I want to go first. And people are like, yeah, okay, yeah, go ahead. Like people just want a reason.
I think that
Isn't that wild?
I think the best tactic for that, I've thought about this many times. I think the best tactic for this is like someone's in line, and you go to someone that's by themselves, not with a group, because somebody like the odds are like one of the other people in a group of people would speak up and say something. So you just pick out someone that looks weak. Physically, like as far as like
that guy's not. He doesn't want to talk about.
Like he doesn't want to get in a confrontation.
He doesn't want a confrontation.
So like, and that sounds mean. But we're talking about best case. We're talking about getting the best result here. We're not talking about like being morally correct. So you kind of scope it out.
Like you're hungry now, and you got to get that hot dog.
So you walk up. You walk up with your phone in your hand. Here's the trick. You got to have your phone in your hand.
Oh, like I don't really want to converse right now.
So you walk up with your phone in your hand, and you just briefly like. Before you even like get all the way up to them, when you're like really close, you just be like, "Oh man, can't believe that. Sorry, I'm late. I didn't mean to get here. So like, my bad. Sorry, I'm late. I'm finally here."
Oh, you just saddle up.
Just kind of just like jump into like a conversation. That's for the point where like they don't even know it even happened. Almost.
They don't know what's going on.
They think you're maybe talking to somebody else, but you're just looking right at them. So the people around think you're talking to this person that you know, when in reality you just don't know who they are, and then you just stand like slightly behind them. And then you just look down at your phone and just get on your phone and like act like you're texting, like you're just busy.
So who the second person in line thinks that you're with the first person.
The person behind you now,
right?
Thinks you're with the person in front of them.
But you're not actually sitting next to that person because then they're gonna look at you where you take a slight step back. You split the difference.
Slightly step behind them and kind of get between.
I like an angle. You shoulder in.
You kind of shoulder in at a slight angle. Exactly. So you're almost forming like a V.
And you stare at your phone.
And then you stare at your phone after you've already threw out the comment and like, oh my bad, man, I couldn't find parking. You just throw that out, and you kind of say it like as you walk by the person that you're cutting. You kind of say that while looking at the person
right
in front of you, or like where like it looks like you could be. And even if they give you like a quick little look back, they'll just be, and you get right on your phone, then they just think that they didn't respond because you were on your phone or something.
Yeah,
and that would probably work every time.
Well, I'll tell you one thing for sure is that about 40% of the time that'll work every time.
About 40% of the time.
No, I bet that sounds like have a lot of success.
Especially if it's like some younger like high school girls or something that you're cutting, like they're not gonna say anything.
No.
They're just gonna think you're with this person.
Yeah, you will. Yeah.
It's not like something like a Starbucks scenario, you know.
You're gonna cut someone like you got to either go young or really old. You know.
You can even, if you want to get balls, you can even give them like a little shoulder pat. Hey, my bad. I'm sorry, I'm late. It's finally here, you know. And then just get on your phone.
And they just be like this, like give you a side eye.
But then you're on your phone.
Well, and then also you're slightly behind him. They'd be like, "What?" No.
Oh, give it a try. If someone films himself doing it, give it a try. We'll send you a free Cabin and Keel's Tech camper hat.
Oh fuck yeah!
You send us a video
more than that.
of you pulling that move, and it working, and you send us a video. We will send you a nice gift package.
You know what's funny is people don't like to be uncomfortable. I mean, obviously, but I know a guy who does a challenge. It's funny just to get people to be like, just do something a little bit uncomfortable, right? That's not a big deal at all. It's like next time you go to Starbucks and you're checking out, ask the barista, ask him for a discount. That guy just ask for 10% off. Just see what's up.
See
just
what they do?
Yeah, just ring. Hey, you know, whatever on a grande latte. Can you just go and give me 10% off that? Anyway, get 10% off that. Just like because it's an awkward thing to do, you know, because why would they? There's no reason for it, whatever. They're probably just going to say
for that.
Probably just going to exactly. They'd probably say no, but it's like that's the whole point.
Well, let me go ask my boss.
But it's such not a big deal because they could just say no.
Okay.
Or they could be like, nah, okay, yeah, no problem.
Right.
But like I don't want to do that. You know, when I think about it, like it's kind of.
Dude, that's funny.
Just a simple little. Just do something. Hey, just get out of your comfort zone today a little bit.
Interesting. Now you got me thinking about going to Mel Dog's more for lunch.
Yeah, well,
I kind of like forgot that they even existed.
I'm gonna tell you one thing. If there's a line, I'm just gonna go to the front of that thing.
Oh yeah, that's a good place to cut. Actually, probably not, because there's some blue collar gentlemen in there that might just like grab you by your collar and just throw you behind them.
And then I'm gonna ask them
even if you actually knew the person that you next to you.
I'll show the story. The little town I live in, it's pretty. You know, it's a big farming town, right? Mm-hmm. Anyway, there was someone tried when group of 3 people going to Starbucks down there. One guy goes to the counter, starts chatting up the barista. The other 2 guys grab laptops off tables, hit the door. Right, so that's a smash and grab type deal, right?
Nice.
Well, yeah, except for they got fucking caught because they're
whole thing's on camera.
They're in this. Well, and they're in this. Well, no, they fucking tackled him.
Oh, they literally got caught.
The citizens.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Because that's the type of town it is. Like, people didn't like, like, whatever. Like, no, dude chased him down from behind, and they got in a confrontation. Guy grabbed him by the wrist on his way, like a whole riot about it. Right on Next Door. Dude grabs him by the wrist on
good old Next Door.
Grabs him by his wrist on the way out the door, and like a scuffle ensues.
Yeah.
Right? And right when the guy's about to get away, another dude runs up and fucking just tackles his ass.
It only takes one person,
right?
Then the mob will come.
Right. And then, and they hold him down until the cops show up. And then I guess
so that could be grand theft.
So 2 of the guys got away.
They're max.
2 of the guys got away. One of the guys got busted. Right?
Oh yeah. He's gonna rat him out.
Well, yeah, for sure. And you know what else? Like, even if you just get one, those other 2 guys are less likely to do it again now because knowing there's actually a chance. They've probably done it a dozen times and never had any issues, right? Or not like that. So apparently the car with the other 2 guys comes back by though because they're like, trying to get their buddy. They think he's like broken free. They don't know that after one guy started tussling with him, Big Jim came and brought the house down.
Yeah.
So this car comes up, and people are apparently guys are running up, trying to pull him out of the car and say fucking speed off, but they got their make, model, license plate number.
Idiots coming back.
Boom, coming back. You gotta leave them behind. You're not the Marines.
No, yeah.
What are you doing?
Yeah, this
isn't the Marines. You're leaving that guy behind.
No, in a street scenario, street theft scenario.
Yeah.
There is no leaving. No man gets left behind.
No, hey, look, you're like
it's like those kids with the donut story.
Like, look, you're like a gang fight or something. Like something going down. Like, okay, I could see like circling back to like help your buddy from another crew. But you're like straight up illegally trying to rob something. Like there are citizens who I just love they got that guy. Like that type of thing. Like those are great stories.
Those are great. Because I had told you the whole thing with the kids on the donuts from Marie's, the bikes, when they tried to steal the dozen donuts.
No.
I told this story on the podcast.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. Long story short, we were at Marie's, me and Silent Mike and some friends, and we knew these kids were going to try. There was a group of like 6 kids. Remember that? And they were going to, obviously they were up to something. They kept like walking up and then walking back, conversing. I'm like, okay, like what the fuck are these kids going to do? Are they going to prank somebody?
Yeah.
Like, are they going to
something's up.
Is there a fight going to come down? Like, you know something's going on. It's like the most obvious fucking shit you've ever seen.
Right.
Long story short, 2 of the kids go up on their bikes, with their bikes, like at the walk up, and they're like ordering the donuts. They pick out the 12 donuts, and then the guy puts the donuts. The kid pretends to pay, and then fucking grabs the box of donuts, tries to run off. Long story short, he fucking flips over his bike, spills the donuts all over the ground, and then all the other kids are gone. They took off. And then I run up and grab the kid's bike.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, like everybody, the owner and like the owner's son are like grabbing the kid. They got him down. He ends up breaking free. Almost gets fucking hit by a car. Like almost fucking dies. Like his car was moving fast and he barely made it out. But long story short, like I had his bike and then I gave it to the people at the shop.
There you go. Hope this pays for those dozen donuts.
And then, but apparently the kid came back the next day and asked for his bike. And they gave it back to him. I guess I don't know. But it was just funny because like everybody like took charge and like tried to retain him, but he got away.
I'll tell you what, the kids got the balls to come.
They probably won't do it again.
Yeah, when the kids got the balls to come back and ask for his bike, you know, like you bust his balls and then you give it to him. Probably. Yeah. You know, you're like, all right, man. Probably like, all right, here you go, and then real quick, get a knife out, slit the tires.
His parents. I don't know if his parents came. I don't remember.
Yeah.
But
it's probably his parents. Probably said, you go get that fucking bike.
Yeah, it was so fun. The best part was that they didn't get any donuts, and they looked like fucking idiots.
Yeah.
And he fell so hard over the front of his bike with the donuts.
They're talking
over.
Talking about the plan. Oh, this is what we're gonna do.
He just got so nervous. I think he hit the brake or something. Just went spilled them all.
Well,
and tried to grab them still. trying to get away, trying to grab the donuts.
Like one at a time.
It's like I've came this far. I gotta leave them without these.
I gotta get at least one.
I gotta get one.
I'm getting out of here with a donut.
Oh, anyways, funny.
You know, also like the bike thing, like you're not like riding the bike, carrying the box of donuts.
Should have done on foot.
Well, the bike, or actually the bike around the corner, so you get a little space.
Well, a couple kids did, and they ran to their bikes that they set next to the trees, and then took off.
See, that's the answer right there. Or you got one kid on the bike who's moving, right? So you got someone in motion.
Yeah.
You know, coming because it'd be easy to grab those in a handoff, and you're going. So you got someone in motion. You grab them, you take 5-6 steps, you give them to the kid on the bike, then you hop on your bike and get out of there. But starting a bicycle with a box of donuts would be tough.
No, and also like everybody knows the structural integrity of a donut box isn't there.
No.
Especially the ones they have there because they're the thin white ones.
Oh, those are even worse than the pink ones.
You grab it by the middle, they all fall out without being on a bike.
Yeah.
So it was doomed from the beginning.
Yeah, they should have gone to a donut shop that's got the pink boxes.
Yeah.
Got a little more
this was like,
a little more structural
integrity. It was 11, 12 at night, and Marie's is the only place that kind of opens at that time. So it was like, you know, and you could tell these were kids that lived in that, you know, it's a nicer area over by Lamb Park. And it was, they're just a bunch of punks. Curtis Park, right? Lamb Park, yeah, I was right. Dawson used to live right down the street.
Yeah, he's the one that set him up to it.
He was actually probably him. He was probably one of the kids.
Hey guys, here's the deal. I'm going to give you a foolproof plan. All I ask is I just want one of the donuts. You guys can take the other 11. Now make that 12 because you know they'll give you a baker's dozen. I just want the free one. You guys run the routine. Just give me the free one. You keep the dozen.
He set it all up.
He set it all up.
It was so funny watching that kid run without his bike because he was running in like, it looked like he had fucking sand boots attached to his feet. He was running so slow.
Oh, okay.
But he was like a skinny kid, but he was just so fucking slow.
Yeah.
It just looked like he was running in sand. It was so funny.
You want to like run it behind?
High arms too. But just running, just not going anywhere. It was
knife hands, come through the air.
So funny. I thought it was almost like he was doing it like as a joke, but he wasn't.
You're like, is that joke running?
Yeah, no, it was real.
And that's why kids need to play sports.
And then as he ran away, I proceeded to yell at him that he was a coward.
Coward!
Yeah, think about how shitty he felt after that. Because like someone calls you a coward as you're running away from like a failed donut heist. Like, talk about like a low moment.
Failed donut heist.
Failed donut heist. You're running away with nothing. God. You lost your bike.
Yeah.
And then some guys is calling you a coward as you almost got hit by a car.
Yeah.
Like, that's low.
I bet his heart was racing.
He probably was scared out of his mind. He's probably 14.
Probably didn't want a donut after
Maybe
that.
13.
This guy's never going to eat another donut the rest of his life.
He just looks at him and just has like panic attacks every time he sees a donut.
Sweating.
Anyways.
There it is.
Don't steal donuts from hardworking people.
Yeah, and you sure as shit don't do it trying to start riding a bike.
Yeah, trying to ride it. I also like a road bike. You know, like a fucking... Those are already a pain in the ass to get on.
Yeah.
A vintage road bike. You know what I mean? Like your fucking grandpa's road bike that's fucking way too tall for you. You're 14.
The only thing would have been better if they were on a... oh, shit. What are they called? The two-person ones?
Oh, a tandem?
A tandem?
Might as well have been.
The two guys on a tandem bike trying to rob the donuts.
They're just gonna like, what if they would have got away with it? We're just gonna like sit in their fucking tree house in their backyard just eating.
Oh, nice, Philip.
We got them. We fucking saved $6.
I think donuts are so cheap.
Unless you go to Milk Money.
Yeah.
Then you're paying $26 for a half dozen shitty donuts.
That's like most your standard donut shop, whatever. Like they probably could have found on the ground. They could have walked around town and on the ground found the money to buy those donuts.
Probably.
Donuts are
well,
so
between
cheap.
the fucking 12 of them that were a part of this failed heist, like you think that like somebody would have some money.
They just spent their last couple bucks on a dime bag.
Yeah, they definitely were smoking weed for sure because you could smell it, like because they were around the corner and it's super dark in that area, so you could tell they were like high, and that's why they were so fucking scared at the beginning to even do it.
They're all nervous.
Just fucking shitting their pants, setting it all up. Super paranoid.
And then their
They
worst fears come to light.
They probably think the whole time that they're all on camera and they're like, "Fuck, dude, we're gonna get caught. Fucking Billy, fuck this up.
Can't even ride a bike.
Fucking dude, you didn't get any of them."
Yeah. He shows up with one.
We're so fucked, man. My dad's gonna take away my fucking credit card.
He shows up with one. They split it.
My dad's gonna take away my fucking bike.
They're gonna remove me from their Prime account.
God damn it.
I'm not gonna be able to buy things on Amazon Prime anymore.
I don't have to fucking walk to private school.
Alright. Well, it's been another episode of Gas Station Cappuccino. Send us an email.
Send us that video of you cutting somebody in line.
Yeah. Send us an email at podcast@caffeineandkilos.com. Maybe you're cutting someone in line. Maybe you have a question, concern. Maybe you have a review. Leave us a review on iTunes. And thanks for tuning in.
Yes, till next time.
Tell all your friends.
Tell them.